YouTube and Facebook, and gonna be talking Cafecito and immigration with Elmer Saravia Esquire. So,
That sounds so nice. Yeah. I
I
feel
know you're
so like
so
professional when
legit.
I like say, yeah. Like it's just me.
And
Sorry,
yeah,
okay.
so
Yeah.
so what's today's Chisme? What's going on with your life? Last time we talked was last Saturday. It's been
What?
crazy. You were just working this morning.
I like on like I don't want to say it like this, but Trump is like an asshole. He really is, but he like he has made like everyone's life so complicated, especially for immigration, but for the business aspect of it, because he's made it so like hard for people, we're getting more business, so I have more clients, so I'm like literally working every day. So no fun cheese, mate. I'm just working really hard for my clients, filing stuff, answering their questions, like doing my thing. So that's the cheese minute for today. I'm just hardworking for my clients who need help.
But that's
Yeah.
a good thing, because you work hard for your clients. And I know we had a
Yeah.
couple of people ask questions from last
Yeah.
week that reached
Yeah.
out.
Mhm.
And if you want to, yeah, and I think in the descriptions, there's your email in case people have questions that you could either work with them or we can answer them too on Saturdays,
Yeah.
Saturday mornings. And yeah, well, I guess
Wait,
that's one of my questions, right? Like, what is business immigration
I'm
versus
gonna like
like what
mute this
regular
phone.
people understand? Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's like a glare, so I don't want people to like, I don't know, think I'm an alien or something. Or
I
does it
mean,
not matter? Yeah.
aren't we aliens? My mom always had her
Oh,
resident alien card.
I'll just keep them on. Yeah. I meant like extraterrestrials.
Extraterrestrial. Oh,
Yeah.
I think we already have a question from someone on
Okay.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What?
Oh, there you go. It came up. You
Oh
can read it on
wow.
Instagram. Yeah, how cool is that? So if you're on Instagram or on Facebook and YouTube, you can ask us questions on immigration. Elmer can try to answer. So one of the questions that came in was, I have a green card that expires in November. Do you think an I-90 is a manageable form to navigate without a lawyer? Thank you. Let's see what else she said. For your time. Okay. Is that something you can answer?
Yes, I can. BT Dubs, I can answer all immigration questions. Like that's not an issue. It just gets complicated when people ask me like some random thing from like Panama, and I'm just like, I'm not a Panama immigration attorney.
So any
But
questions related to US immigration?
yeah, yeah. Well, they can ask me about anything anyways, but like specific, like I know U.S. immigration law, but I can't like help someone work in England, you know, because I don't know how to do that process. But yeah, and I know, I'm sorry, but yes, I guess just to be like general, anyone could do anything with immigration. You don't need an attorney. We're here because Trump has made it harder and they push back on lay people, and lawyers are kind of like that, like, stop, like for some reason, they take us seriously. ICE takes us seriously. I've had interactions with ICE and they like, it's weird. It's like, oh, I'm going to listen to this guy now. And before they like treat like the client, like, like crap. Any form, the I-90 is super easy to fill. You could renew it by yourself. In case you have like crimes or like your case is complicated, you should work with an attorney. But if everything checks out, if you have no issues, you can renew it. It'd be cheaper. An attorney just makes it. There's more of a guarantee that it's going to get approved.
And that's like if someone does have like, complicated history with like their
Yeah.
record, right?
Yes, I do think even if you don't hire an attorney, a consultation to discuss it with someone is always important because you never know, like if you actually have an issue. Like, I like using this example a lot. So smuggling, smuggling is considered inadmissible, and you can't get a green card. And something that's smuggling is like you cross the border and you brought your child, like.
Oh.
Yeah, so they are interpreting it that way now too. So if you're at this interview and you say something like, did you help like your daughter cross the border? And you say yes, you're inadmissible because you helped someone like cross the border. So it's like stuff like that you wouldn't think is an issue. So always like have a consultation with an attorney, and then you can decide if you want to like renew your green card by yourself. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. And I'm sure that actually probably applies to a lot of people that like
Exactly.
crossed over and brought their kids and now they're considered, is that being considered like a human trafficker essentially?
Ooh, that's a good question. Yes, I technically it would be. They're not going to frame it that way, but it's you're helping someone come to a country that they're not supposed to be in,
So that's kind
Yeah.
of something that they could be like, gotcha, on. Oh, that's good to know. Like, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that applies to a lot of people. So definitely talk to a lawyer if
Yeah,
you have something more complicated like that.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I made this like a complicated answer. You can renew your green
No,
card.
I mean, I think we need these complicated answers because, la gente necesita saber, like we need to know.
Yes, we do. Yeah. Okay. What else? That was it.
That was it. I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
just want to make sure that you're answering questions as they come in too, in case like the person needs to hop off. But I guess what are some changes that have been going on that you think people should know about? I know every week you look stressed out. Like every week it's like something new, something changing.
It's literally every day. Trump signed this new executive order. I haven't looked into it just yet, but it's like related to immigration, but kind of not. It's just he wants to protect American jobs. I don't know what that means for immigration yet. I will update you guys next week. But it's just he's always signing new things. DACA is something. He just signed something for merit-based like immigration. I don't know what that means for people yet, because it seems like a lot of what he does is gonna, well, for tech people, I think like DACA, like that, this might be a good thing for DACA, but like someone that's like, doesn't have money, didn't go to high school, I think immigration policies that Trump's trying to make are trying to punish those people and trying to help people that, have money, have education. Yeah.
And is there any like changes on DACA that people should be aware of?
If exists new applicant, yeah, new applicants should not file right now. There's that memo that came out last week saying that no DACA applications are going to be accepted. You can try if you want. You can try to work with an attorney, but you're just being kind of put on immigration's radar at that point, because we already know they're going to deny it, but now they'll have your name. Existing applications, you should continue filing. The renewals are now 1 year instead of 2. It sucks. They're making it really complicated. But there's so much pushback. I'm hoping that like changes too. So we'll have to keep I'll keep you guys updated.
And I guess one question that came in from last week is, what if you are a DACA recipient and you're trying to like move abroad, right? What is kind of the process that you can look at there? I think someone that we know was considering going to Canada, but then it gets a little complicated. Have you ever been able to figure any of that out?
I think that they're fine. I think it's a technicality because I'm still like researching it right now, honestly, but it's the law right now with whatever they're trying to do. It says that they have to have some kind of legal status here. Technically, DACA recipients don't have legal status, but I don't think Canada is going to put too much of an issue on that. But I think for that situation, like it's better for a Canadian immigration attorney to help them. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And how are you dealing with all of this? I know it's very stressful. I don't know, are you considered an essential worker? I think you're essential to our community, but you have to like go in and work there, right?
Yeah. Well, Massachusetts, it's pretty like just like New York. Like we've taken COVID seriously So everyone still wears their masks. I go to the office every day. I meet with clients in person. We just do social distancing, masks, like 6 feet apart, all that stuff. I sanitize everything all the time. So that's fine. I get a lot of exposure to clients, but like it's safe. But yeah, now like after lockdown, there's so much like, and especially like Trump like keeps changing everything. Like I keep getting more and more clients, and then which is good, but like there's just so much like I have a case right now, and they're trying to deny this like marriage-based green card because the guy couldn't answer what color his front door was, and it was like a different answer than his wife's. Yeah, it's like bullshit reasons
I
like
don't
that.
know what color my front door is.
Exactly. Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like
Sorry.
work with an attorney because they're trying to come up with reasons to deny your case.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's nuts. Like, let's be real. Most people don't remember anything about their significant others.
No, but like honestly, that's why working with an attorney is like so helpful because like I feel like interviews like that would go differently if there was just an attorney present, taking notes, making sure that the client is understanding the questions.
Do you
Um,
think it's something too? Because you mentioned that immigration, like ICE, like treats people differently too if they have an attorney. Do you think it's kind of like a social status type of thing that they're like, oh, this person can afford to have an immigration attorney? They might be like more important.
mm, it might, I mean, honestly, that's going to depend on the officer, but I really just think it's this person knows the law.
Oh,
I,
and that
I,
like they could get in trouble.
yeah, yeah, I can't like bully this person because they don't have to listen to exactly everything I say because they have their lawyer that knows what's up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ugh, that's so shady.
yeah, yeah, it sucks, but hire an attorney.
Yeah. And how about emotionally? How are you coping with everything going on? Because I know that, lawyers right now, everyone's stressed out, healthcare workers. How are you just
Yeah,
coping with everything?
I do a lot of Zumba. I do a lot of like, I'm
Oh,
trying
are
to
you
get more
still
like
doing live Zumba?
not really. I just kind of do it by myself because so like my like thing now, like I have the schedule. Wake up super early, I try to work out, and sometimes I'm just not motivated, so I do Zumba. Like Zumba is great, guys. Like you do like 30 minutes of like your favorite songs. If you YouTube anyone that you like any music that you like, there's a Zumba for it, and you just do it. You get this like great like cardio workout, and then you can like go on with your day. So that's what I do. Like yeah. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I like work out, then I like, just go do my thing and like help clients, and then maybe have some pizza,
Some
pizza and
pizza. That's
wine,
a good way to cope with life. Just Zumba. Like you
yeah,
can't really be mad or sad when you're doing Zumba because you're just like moving around, dancing. And you're
exactly.
dancing, right? So it's like you can't
Yeah.
really sad dance.
Oh,
Just
and
like
you
you
get like,
can't like oh, go ahead.
you get all these like new like ideas for dance moves. So like when I go to like the club after all this, I'm gonna have all these like moves. And
I
like, look what
was
I can do.
wondering about that. I was like, wait, like people, once everything's like, people are out and about, they're gonna be just like doing TikTok dances at the club.
Yeah, no, I've been like seeing all these videos. It's like so true. Like Gen Z, like if TikTok's like banned, they're gonna be like doing like all these like moves at like the grocery store, like doing like these like essential like working like jobs. Yeah, so yeah, I'm excited to see
Oh,
what happens after COVID.
I know. I'm like, man, think like life is just weird right now. But I guess on that's like the lighter, brighter type of stuff. What else should we be on alert about or just prepping?
Um, okay, Val, can you be a little bit more specific because like that's such a broad question.
I was trying to open conversation more.
I know, but it's so
Well,
much. I
I
think
guess, what should be if we had to focus on just one thing like the news. I know everyone's like overwhelmed, but if you are an immigrant, undocumented, like what should you be actually paying attention to?
well, if you're here legally, just comply with the law, because they are trying to like I have this case where he got a speeding ticket and he didn't show up to his court, and that's the reason why they're trying to deny his green card. So it's like, yeah, because they're considering it like some like criminal offense. It's like bullshit. But like, yeah,
I'm really lucky I was born here.
yeah, no, it just it like that's one thing about doing this job. It makes you like, because I was naturalized like through my parents, and it happened when I was 15, and like I just it was easy, But then I'm working with all these people, and like there's this woman, she's been here for 30 years, has three U.S. citizen like kids, legal permanent resident like husband, and they refuse to give her a green card. What is she supposed to do? Her life is here, you know. I'm sorry. What what was the question? Okay, so legal. So if you're legal, just comply with the law. If you're undocumented right now, um, yeah, just keep talk to attorneys. Talk to like keep like vigilant. I was recommending to people like with the DACA thing, file your new application before they actually say that you're not allowed to. There was
Mm-hmm.
like a week or two of that window. People did. But people that should have didn't,
There was
So
a
like when,
2 week window.
well, yeah, because the decision came out and then we started seeing pushback from like USCIS, so immigration, saying we're not going to, like, we're thinking about not doing this. And then that official memo came out. But if people would have applied like after the decision came out, it might have been a little different, you know?
And what do
Yeah.
you think as citizens, right? Like folks that are citizens, like what can we be doing? I know Eric Rivera just commented on Facebook and he was like, Latinx millennials and Gen Z over 18 should be volunteering and working at the polls, right? And I think that's something that we should be aware of if we are US citizens. Like, what can we do to ensure
Yeah.
that our family and our friends like are safe? I think what else do you think that we can do?
So what I want to like volunteer more, but it's so hard with COVID right now.
I mean, you're
But
doing a lot.
yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it. But I think what I do with like my clients is I try to listen to what they're saying. I think as like Latinx, like millennials, we can understand where like an immigrant is coming from. Like we have family that have like come to this country, learn the language, try to like establish their lives. A lot of the clients like me, because even though I would say I'm more like Americanized, I'm more like whitewashed, I was still born in Guatemala. Like I moved here when I was two. My parents, like they're still Guatemalans, So it's, even though I can't relate with them, they feel like they can trust me and that I'll help them because I can relate. So I guess like the point of that whole thing is you're relatable and you don't realize it. Listen, like at least listen to like an immigrant and see like where they're coming from, and then maybe you can like find a way to help them. Because there's a lot of fear right now. It's like I can't report this crime because I'm undocumented. And just like listening to these people, like, no, you can actually go report this to the police. You don't have to fear like of being deported. Like I will go with you, if you feel that uncomfortable, like doing it by yourself, you know. So like stuff like that.
And I guess with that, right? So what rights does an undocumented person have if they need to report a crime?
Um, well, I don't know if it's rights, but they can report a crime, especially if they're a victim of it. They should tell the police. One way, so here we go. A U visa that allows an undocumented like person to file for legal status. So a U visa, like it's a victim of a crime, and reporting it and being helpful with the investigation will let you stay in the country under a U visa status for a couple of years. It's kind of complicated because the law enforcement agency has to like approve that yes, like this person's helping, and it could take a while, but that's one way an undocumented person could get legal status. But people should report it regardless. Like you're not going to be detained. The police are not the same thing as ICE. They could contact ICE to let them know, but if a crime happens, you should report it.
And I guess that's maybe something that we could elaborate on. How are they different? How is um how is ICE and the police different? Because I think a lot of the times people get confused, might let ICE in, and whatnot.
I'm gonna try to avoid talking about the police just because like everything that's going on. But at least from being an immigration attorney, working with undocumented people that have been victim of crimes, the police officers I've been working with do like generally try to help, and they're not trying to get these people deported, and they understand that. ICE doesn't care. They're being paid to look for people that are violating the law. But the police, it depends on who you're talking to, but the police isn't going to detain you and deport you. I think that's the big difference between them. Like police might be good, ICE bad.
And a lot of sanctuary cities as well, they can't actually hand it over to ICE, right?
Correct.
And I think, another way that we can definitely get people to get involved is filling out the census, right? I think that's something, it's mycensus2020.gov. And can you be undocumented to fill it out?
Ooh. I actually don't know.
Yes.
That's
The answer is yes.
I haven't looked into that. I'm sorry, guys. I guess yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, that's one of the ways that you can. Undocumented folk can't vote. I know Trump is saying that
Right.
like we're gonna commit fraud and whatnot, and it's like no, that's like not a thing. But the only way that you can get counted as a undocumented person is actually filling out the census, and that information is actually encrypted. So basically what happens is that like you are, like you're a data point, and you kind of get put into like a thing with basically like say you fill out your census, it goes into like a pool of data and it gets randomized. So like they can't really identify you, right? So it's not going to find it back. So it gets pulled in together, and then that gets sent out as packets basically. So that's how like so you basically check off that like they check off like, okay, this person did fill it, but it's not like they can put them 2 and 2 together, right? So our data is protected. It's actually safer than probably using Instagram and Facebook. Like your data is actually more protected in the census. So everyone that's freaking out about that, it's like you use Facebook and Instagram. And if you use TikTok, my goodness, like your data is way safer filling out the census than literally uploading a TikTok. And I think that's really that's one of the things that we can do, is because when we get counted on the census, we actually ensure that the government knows like, hey, this is how many people live here. This is how many people of color. This is how many, children get undercounted a lot. And then they know like, this is how much we need to allocate for budgets, for hospitals, for, education, and also assign how many congressional representatives that we get in House of Representatives. So they know like, okay, because there's 10,000 people here, and I'm making up numbers. We know that like for every 10,000, they need like 1 representative, right? So then if we're undercounted, then that means we get less representation.
No, that makes sense. Yeah.
And that's actually, they're pushed up the deadline. So it was supposed to be October, and they pushed it up to September. And I think that's one of the big reasons they want to do that, is they want to make sure that we're not counted, right? They want to make sure that we're erased. So I think that's one of the few things that you can do. And it takes like 7 minutes. So if you know someone that's undocumented, if you yourself are undocumented, you can fill it out. It's in different languages. You can help someone fill it out too. So yeah, go tell people to fill it out. Yeah. And then if you can vote, go vote, and go help translate if you can. And if you're healthy, I think that's a big one. And Eric,
really quick.
Yeah.
So really quick, you were going on such a great spiel. I didn't want to like interrupt, but that's another way like Latinx millennials and Gen Z can help. Like there are immigrants that don't speak English. You can help them fill out the census. Like that's why I like try to like understand where these people are, or like where people are coming from. It's like, okay, this guy like literally can't write. I can help him with that, So just throwing that in there.
No, that's a good point. I think we don't recognize how privileged we
Privilege.
are,
Yeah.
even in just like the simplest things, right? Like a lot of
Mhm.
people that come here, like they might not be even able to write, like you're saying. Like a lot of people came here from pueblos, right? And don't know how to fill forms out. That like that doing that just like is so simple enough, but actually makes a
Um,
huge difference, right?
yeah.
Or filling out things for people and helping them with the form, especially like
Yeah.
as millennials, as like Gen X, right? Like we're a little bit more, and Gen Z, like we're a little bit more tech savvy, right? So like,
Mhm.
you know, for like even like, you know, our parents, like it takes them forever to fill something out. But then I'm just like, okay, like you could probably do it in 5 seconds. So like help them out. I know it's
Right.
annoying,
Yeah.
but like it makes a big difference,
It
right?
does. No, you're absolutely right about that. So one thing I like about my job is just like it's breaking all these like assumptions that I've had because like I've been like you're saying, I've been so privileged with everything like I do. I was explaining what a green card was to one of my clients because he didn't know what that was, and he like came to me because he's trying to be a legal permanent resident. So like I was trying to help him with that and like explaining legal permanent resident, and then I started using green card. It's the same thing, but he was like, I don't understand why you're talking about a green card. He like didn't know that was like the card you get to show that you have legal permanent residence. So it's just like I literally need to like break everything down. And I think that's something that like just millennials and Gen Z can do. Just like understand that we know this modern world better and just being open to helping. Yeah.
And being patient with people. I think that's something that
Yeah.
I struggle with a lot because I try to explain things and then I'm like, why don't you get it? And then I'm like, oh, right. Like, I have this education. I grew up here. I'm always, you know, like we have different levels of access, right?
Yeah.
That being able to break something down to make it easy for someone to understand, because there's all of these like complicated, fancy words that basically try to like keep us out, right? They want
Right.
to confuse us.
I
Um,
I also so like I feel like I like now that I'm like older and I'm just like I am such a mess. Like I can't like cook, I can't like fix my car, and like I have these people like trying to like help me like okay, this is how you cut a tomato, and I'm just like what? So I try to like that's why I try to be patient with like older people. Like they don't get like computers, but it's like I don't even know how to sew. Like I
You're like,
can't
I
even like
can't cut a tomato.
yeah, like I can't like do these like basic essential things that I should be able to do at 30.
Like, I
Yeah.
literally will die of starvation because I don't know how to
Yeah.
cook.
Yeah. Well, so I eat Freshlies now for dinner. It's because I'm trying to lose weight. I've lost maybe 30-ish pounds at this point. I'm
Oh my
146 and
God.
in March I was 178 and Noom helped me and then just Freshly got me like regimented. I don't know why I started talking about that, but
Oh, because we
that's
can't adult and we need our food delivered.
yeah.
So we should,
But
yeah,
yeah,
for real. It's like we could barely adult. We should be patient with people who can't
yeah,
computer it,
yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so when I was learning, you know how long it took me to like do like drive manually, like with like a stick? Like
I don't
it
know how
took
to do
me,
that.
yeah, it took me weeks. Like I had this friend who like was literally showing me every day, and I'm just like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to do this. I got it. I can like drive now, but it's just like that's what I try to do. Like it takes me a long time to just learn basic things. It's just practice. Anyone can do anything.
Anyone can do anything. I love that. And
Yeah.
I guess to wrap it up, oh, we're almost at 30 minutes. So yay,
Yay.
we're
Okay.
sticking at this. And I think this is
Okay.
great. Where can people send you questions if they have questions for next
Yeah.
Saturday? And next Saturday, we're going to be at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Yeah. I just
Eastern.
Easter time. Sorry guys. I like, I want to have a social life and also work, and
I
10 in
mean,
the
you
morning
work a
just makes
lot,
sense.
so it makes sense. It makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah.
And we'll
Oh,
put the videos up so people can watch the replay. So even if they
yeah.
can't tune in live, they can send you questions. Where can they send questions besides
So,
DMing Basic Brown Nerds or sending an email to hello@basicbrownnerds? Where can they find you?
so really quick, this is how I know I'm getting older. I got a printer for my apartment so I can work here, and I got really excited that I can print and scan stuff here. But everyone, if you can always like talk to Val and then she'll get me the information, but you can also email me at my law firm email address, elmer@brookslawfirm.com. So Elmer, ELMER at Brooks Law Firm, BROOKSLAFIRM.com. Or you can just message me on Instagram. It's that Elmo guy. So that_Elmo_guy.
And do you have any advice for people this week, or words of wisdom and inspiration? Do Zumba with you.
Yeah. No, I actually kind of like what I just said. Like anyone can do anything, like if you want to do something, go for it. It really just takes practice. Like just accept that you're gonna be like an idiot about it. That's what I do. I'm just like, you know what? I'm such a stupid, but like I keep going at it, and then all of a sudden, like, oh my gosh, I can do Zumba. Like I can like drive a car. Like, oh my gosh, I cut this tomato all by myself. So it's really, you just have to be okay with like being bad for a while until you're good.
Yes, and I feel like you fully have embraced that. Like you're just like, I'm just a fabulous gay disaster, and I love myself for it.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's been working out. I'm just like, whatever. I'm just a stupid, like, I don't want to like say like any, like swear or anything, but yeah. And then like things are just like working out. It's like, oh crap, I can help other people. Like I'm like, I guess I'm doing okay.
Yes. Well, thank you to everyone who tuned in. We're going to get better at these. We already are. We got our tech going, so we're set on that part. And this will be on replay. So I'm going to cut this up and make it all cool and fancy. And you can listen to the podcast on Basic Brown Nerds, wherever you podcast. We're going to be picking up episodes again. I'm going to be editing this. And definitely just like ask us questions, shoot us a DM at the Basic Brown Nerds Instagram, and tell people about this show. Also, go get your flu shot. Oh my God, let me tell you, I had people.
Look what I did.
God, hey. Yay! Yeah. I'm so proud of you. I just got mine. My arm's a little sore.
Thank you for putting that. I saw the story. I was like, oh, I'm going to go today. So yeah, guys, get your flu shot. I got mine super quick.
Especially now, it takes like 2 minutes. I think, was your insurance covered? My insurance covered it. And I have like crap federal insurance.
Me too. $0. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and I think especially now because, there's COVID going around and you can eat as healthy as possible, but like, one, our food system is really bad. So we actually don't get as much nutrients and vitamins that we used to be able to get from our fruits and vegetables. But also like, yes, playing up your immune system and everything, but like climate change is real, science is real, and vaccines are able to prevent anything that you don't need. So it's like, I got into a debate. People were sliding in the DMs and we're just like, big pharma. And it's like, yes, they're a problem. Healthcare should be a basic human right, but also like we should be preventative as well. So reminder, so people have homework. Fill out your census. If you already did it, help somebody else fill out your census. If you are eligible to vote, check your voter registration. Tono Latino, she's an amazing friend of mine. She has a whole video out that's just like on how to check your registration, because oh my God, this is, they really don't want us to know all this stuff, right? And by they, I mean Trump. And that administration is, we have to make sure that our signatures match whatever's on record. So checking that, making sure that we're registered, making sure that our voter registration is all up to date, and getting your flu shot if you are healthy, because there's a lot of people who like cannot actually get a flu shot, right? Like some people that are immunocompromised, people that need, like aren't able to get a flu shot, and we need to keep them protected. So that's why the rest of us need to do that. And that was another comment that came in, and I was like, yeah, we do it for you. Like, that's why we need to get our flu shot. So yeah, keep telling people, keep believing in science.
Please.
Yes, please. And facts. And Dana, please. All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining, who joined us throughout this. Bye.
Bye.
Let's see.